Here we are at the kever of Rabbi Pinchas ben Yair, the father-in-law of Rabbi Shimon bar Yochai, here in the base of the great cemetery in Tzfat. And you see in front of us a board that has many of the statements and stories about Rabbi Pinchas ben Yair. And I thought that perhaps it'd be worthwhile to review a couple of them. There was one that's especially powerful, where it says that Rabbi Pinchas ben Yair came to a river, and the river prevented him from crossing. So he spoke to the river, and he said to the river, "Make way, open up a path for me in you, so that I can go on to the other side." And so the river said, "Well, you're going to serve your creator, and I'm serving my creator." And it's a safek, it's a doubt whether you're going to always serve your creator. But me, as a river, I'm always going to serve our creator. Why should I, in other words, why should I open up my walls of water for you? And Rabbi Pinchas ben Yair said, "Well, if you don't open up your walls for me, I'm going to make a decree on you that you're going to dry out and you're not going to have any more water, and you will be gone." So the river opened up and Rabbi Pinchas crossed. He got to the other side, and there was another Jew across the river carrying wheat to make matzah for Pesach. And so Rabbi Pinchas told the river, "Open up for him too." So the river opened up a pathway for that Jew that was going to make matzah. And then the Yishmael guide, a Muslim, I guess you would call him, although Islam didn't exist then, but he was the son of, obviously, of the Arab nations in the region, and he was a guide. And Rabbi Pinchas said, "Well, open up your water for him too. He has to get across so that people don't say that there's favoritism in heaven." And the river opened up a pathway for the Ishmaeli, the guide, as well. And the rabbis conclude, Amar Rabbi Yosef, they see that Rabbi Pinchas ben Yair was greater than Moses and 600,000 Jews, because God opened up the Red Sea for the Jews when they crossed out of Egypt one time. But here you see God opened up the river 3 times for one man. So I think we can learn something here about talking to nature. Was Rabbi Pinchas talking to God while he was talking to the river? Was the river a part of God that he talked to? Does the river have a voice, consciousness, power? Well, if you remember back into our series on reincarnation, Rabbi Chaim Vital, whose rabbi, Rabbi Yitzhak Luria, is buried up on that hill. Up there behind that tree is Tzfat, the rest of the graveyard. He tells us that every feature of nature has an angel giving it life force. So trees have angels. Every blade of grass, the Talmud tells us, has an angel. And if so do mountains, and so do rivers. And so I think we can understand this better by understanding that when Rebbe Pinchas was requesting from the river to open up a pathway through it in order for people to cross, he was talking to the angel that was in charge of the water. And so perhaps that's a little easier for us to understand. I think the idea of talking to water itself is a little strange, but when we understand that there's a spiritual root and power behind all creation, then you can talk to the wind, and you can talk to the rain. And if it's too hot, ask Hashem to make clouds, hide the sun. And if it's too cold, ask Hashem to open up the clouds so we have more sun. And you see over here, more the graveyard of Tzfat is growing.